The air was thick and heavy. A strange smell hung in the air. It was December 3rd, 1984. The people of Bhopal, India were sleeping, unaware of the nightmare about to unfold. In the heart of the city, a silent threat lurked at the Union Carbide pesticide plant. This night would become etched in history, a stark reminder of industrial disaster. The silence was shattered. A high-pitched siren pierced the night. People woke up, confused and scared. A cloud of deadly gas, methyl isocyanate, was escaping from the plant. It spread silently, quickly engulfing the city in its deadly embrace. At the Bhopal railway station, Station Master HSH, where we felt a jolt of fear. The acrid air stung his nostrils. Something was terribly wrong. He alerted his colleague Ghulam Dastagir, a dedicated railway employee known for his quick thinking. Dastagir's instincts kicked in. This was more than just a fire. Dastagir rushed towards the source of the commotion. People were coughing, their eyes burning. Panic started to rise as the invisible gas spread. He needed to act fast. Every passing second was critical. Lives were at stake. Deep inside the Union Carbide plant, chaos reigned. An uncontrolled reaction in a storage tank had released a deadly gas. Workers, caught off guard, desperately tried to contain the leak, but the situation was spiraling out of control. The safety systems meant to prevent such disasters failed tragically. The toxic cloud, heavier than air, crept along the ground. It seeped into homes through cracks and crevices. It was a silent, invisible killer. People woke to the sound of choking, their lungs burning with each breath. Dastagir knew he had to act quickly. A passenger train, packed with hundreds of people, was due to arrive at the station. He could hear it approaching in the distance. The thought of the train arriving, unknowingly entering the gas-filled station, sent chills down his spine. He made a split-second decision. Ignoring the burning in his own lungs, Dastagir grabbed his red lantern and ran towards the edge of the platform. He waved the lantern with all his might, signaling the train to stop. His heroic action saved countless lives that night. Section 5 Chaos at Hamidia Hospital. As the night wore on, thousands of people, gasping for breath, flooded the city's only hospital, Hamidia Hospital. The hospital was overwhelmed. Doctors and nurses, themselves struggling to breathe, were faced with a crisis they were unprepared for. The most terrifying aspect was the lack of information. No one knew what the gas was, let alone how to treat it. Precious time was lost. The wrong treatments were administered, worsening the condition of many patients. A Section 6 essay of suffering. The air inside the hospital was thick with the smell of vomit and fear. Families huddled together, faded faces. Children cried, their tiny lungs struggling to cope with the toxic air. The scene was one of unimaginable suffering. Days turned into weeks. The death toll mounted. The true scale of the disaster began to unfold. Thousands perished from the immediate effects of the gas. Countless others would suffer long-term health consequences. Section 7 Dastagir's determination. Despite the risks, Dastagir refused to leave his post. He continued to guide trains and help passengers even as the gas ravaged his own body. His courage and selflessness in the face of unimaginable adversity shone through. Dastagir's actions that night were nothing short of heroic. He became a beacon of hope in the midst of chaos, putting the lives of others before his own. His story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Section 8 The Price of Neglect. The Bhopal gas tragedy was not just an accident, it was a tragedy waiting to happen. Investigations revealed a series of systemic failures and cost-cutting measures at the Union Carbide plant. Safety regulations were ignored, warning signs were overlooked. Journalists like myself had been raising concerns about the dangers of the plant for years. Our warnings went unheeded. The Bhopal gas tragedy is a stark reminder of the human cost of corporate negligence. Section 9 Lessons from Bhopal. The Bhopal gas tragedy stands as a grim reminder of the importance of industrial safety, corporate responsibility, and environmental regulations. It highlights the importance of a free and independent media in holding power to account. The disaster exposed the vulnerabilities of developing nations. It underscored the need for stronger safety standards, better preparedness, and effective disaster response mechanisms. The Section 10 Remain the Heroes. The Bhopal gas tragedy is a story of unimaginable suffering, but it is also a story of extraordinary courage and resilience. We must remember the heroes like Ghulam Dastagir, who risked their lives to save others. Their stories remind us of the inherent goodness in humanity. They inspire us to fight for a safer, more just world. We must honor their memory by demanding accountability and fighting for a future free from such tragedies. Section 11, Seek the Truth. The fight for justice for the victims of the Bhopal gas tragedy continues. We must keep their memory alive by seeking the truth about what happened that fateful night. We must learn from the mistakes of the past to prevent such tragedies from happening again. I urge you to watch The Railwaymen on Netflix. This powerful series tells the story of the Bhopal gas tragedy through the eyes of the railway workers who became unlikely heroes. It is a story that needs to be told and remembered.